Peace. What's up, y'all? Phil James coming back at you. Alright, today is still Monday, it's still January, it's still 22nd, and it's still 2018, and as you can tell, 10:48 p.m. Alright, so I thought this was absolutely ridiculous, so I'm going to mention it in this video here, and I said I'd have 2 videos for y'all. This is number 2, so let's get on with it, shall we? Alright. Astronaut apologizes for lying about 9-centimeter growth during space trip. Yeah, what the fuck is that? I'm sorry. It's just, astronauts are supposed to be the miracle citizens, the great, well-known, awesome, top-of-the-line human beings. You know what I'm saying? They're supposed to be the best of the best. Now, this Japanese astronaut did a little tour on the ISS, and by all the space agencies' claims, whenever you leave the Earth and go into zero gravity, you always gain a centimeter or 2 to your height. Why? Well, because gravity isn't pulling down on you so hard and your spine straightens. That's apparently what happens. Now, this Japanese astronaut claims he grew 9 inches while in orbit around the Earth. How outrageous. How outrageous. Even if I believed in space travel, even if I believed the ISS was real, even if I thought rockets worked in space, and even if I thought we could land on the moon and whatever else, I still would not believe that this Japanese astronaut grew 9 inches for his, however many days on the ISS, the imaginary space station. Never in my life would I have believed that. And, I didn't. So I looked into it, and surely enough, he lied about it. Did he actually lie, or did he make a mistake? It's hard to tell. But, once again, like I've said, astronauts are supposed to be top-of-the-line citizens, top-of-the-line human beings, because the failure rate is worse than, a U.S. Marine, scout sniper or something. The turnover rate would be higher because astronauts have to be able to do all of it. You know what I'm saying? So, we could say maybe it was a simple math error. Maybe. Well, I would imagine that an astronaut would be quite capable of doing math, especially when we're talking single digits. You know what I'm saying? I would also imagine that an astronaut would not lie about his height and the changes to it in orbit. But apparently, that's exactly what happened. So I just wanted to go ahead and show this. Look at him holding up the little, Black Panthers emblem. Yeah, I lied. So, I'm not going to go through all this. I guess I can read a paragraph. Alright. It was the biggest space-related news on Earth on Tuesday, January 9th, but it turns out it was all fake. Japanese Astro-NOTS, not saying it, did not grow 9 centimeters during his journey aboard the International Space Station. The dude has corrected his first report and said he actually put on just 2 centimeters, and he apologizes for spreading fake news. What a surprise. Although it was a measurement error, it seems that it has become a serious topic. I am very sorry for the terrible fake news, he said. Is he? Is he? Okay. His first tweet said, "Good morning, everybody. I have a major announcement today. We had our bodies measured after reaching space, and wow, 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 I had actually grown by as much as 9 centimeters. That's impressive." He said he had grown like some plant and was worried about whether he would fit in the Soyuz spacecraft seat when he returned. Now, that's quite the growth. I mean, if you had grown 9 centimeters, I'm pretty sure that you'd be like, damn, I grew a lot. You would know. It wouldn't, you know what I'm saying? You'd be able to tell. But no, this guy apparently just made a mathematical error, and it was just a simple mistake. I just threw this in for shits and giggles. I'll leave the link in the description for you also. Feel free to check it out. But what I really wanted to cover in this, right here. We spoke and NASA listened. Because guess what? All of us truth seekers and conspiracy theorists and lunar landing hoax believers, have said repeatedly, you go to the moon 7 times, between 1969 and 1972, but we can't go back now, right? Because NASA destroyed said technology and it would be too painful to return. Remember, we all know that. Astronaut Don Pettit is to blame for that. They destroyed the technology, guys, so we just can't go back. It's that simple. Why try to rebuild it? Why try to make new and improved technology when you can just say, nope, can't go back? You know what I'm saying? Kind of strange. Well, you have people like myself, people like RFB, and people like ODD, and people like, every other non-space believer out there. Flat Earth asshole, which is now Jake the asshole, and so on and so forth. All of people like us have called this out. You can't go to the moon now. But instead of going to the moon and rebuilding the technology that would probably be easier to remake, we're going to build entirely new technology. And what we're going to do is go to Mars, the toxic landscape, the toxic atmosphere, and we're going to colonize it. Because that makes much more sense than going to the moon for a test run. We're just going to say, all or nothing, let's go to Mars. Psych. But we got to remember, Elon Musk is about to launch his Tesla Roadster into orbit around Mars. There's your test run, you know what I mean? I mean, come on, what the hell is going on? And nobody calls bullshit on this, other than people like ourselves. So, the reason I wanted to put this on here, why did NASA claim they can't go back to the moon? Why did NASA not act like they were going to go back to the moon? Well, I have one idea as to why. Because now, humans and citizens like us have the technology to where we can zoom in on the moon and see them land on it. That might be a good reason as to why they don't want to say they're going back. You know what I mean? Because we have Nikon P900s that could probably pick the landing spot and see it. We have telescopes now that we could probably pick out the landing spot, the landing site, and see it. We could watch them land with their thrusters, and then we could watch them take off with those very same thrusters. But NASA wasn't going to do it. But because all of us truth seekers and truth speakers have said so many countless times that it makes absolutely no sense that we're going to go to Mars and not the moon, it seems NASA has listened. And they came back with NASA's going back to the moon if it can figure out how to get there. Well, you guys can get to Mars, and that's not an effing problem. Apparently, you have the STS-RS, whatever the hell rocket it is, down in Mobile, Mississippi, being test fired during hurricanes and adding all that condensation right up into Hurricane Harvey. No big deal. Sorry, I'm a little wound up right now. This is just unbelievable to me. So, oh my lord. Space fever, astronauts risk hitting 104 degrees during exercise, making Mars trip dangerous. Dangerous, so dangerous. Because it's not that it's not possible, it's just dangerous. Come on, you know what I mean? Not at all. Buzz Aldrin walks on the surface of the moon in 1969, his visor reflecting the image of astronaut Neil Armstrong and the lunar module. Isn't that impressive? It is, right? Very true, very real. Not photoshopped at all. You know, just like the Earth being totally real. Well, anyways, I want to go ahead and say something. The lunar rover, just for instance, NASA made a little like what to do list when deploying that lunar rover. And it's like a 6-step sheet, checklist, whatever you want to call it, to follow. And it shows 2 astronauts pulling cables and then the thing just bouncing on out and that being good, you know, wheels attached and everything. Well, problem is, no tire tracks. No tire tracks. In every picture of it, it's nowhere near the lunar module. So how in the hell did it get there? It must have floated. They must have just jumped it off something and floated all the way to where it is, you know, where all those other pictures were taken. So anyways, NASA is going back to the moon. Somehow, some way. The White House has ordered the agency to put American boots back on the lunar surface. The major unknowns at this point include the when, the how, the scale of the operation, and the cost. Well, with $53 million a day, it shouldn't be that big of a deal budgetarily. You know what I'm saying? But it somehow still is. Also unclear is what exactly NASA would accomplish with such a mission and how it might affect plans for a human mission to Mars. Well, I have one idea on how it might affect it. It would probably be a good effing test run, wouldn't it? You think that since you're, I don't know what the exact distance difference is, but Mars is much further, and I'm guessing that, you know, since we hadn't been there in 50 years, like to the moon or into space past low Earth orbit, it would probably be a pretty decent idea to go ahead and fire up a little lunar rocket with a lunar module and launch it up there with a few astronauts on it. Like, all right, we did it. We're good. Let's bring it back on down to Earth, and now let's take off to Mars. Probably be a good test run, but they don't need to do that because it's NASA. They're amazing and they're incredible. So why even do a test run? You don't need it. We got the deepest pool in the world, and we have rocket test fire facilities. Who needs a test run to the moon, right? We're gonna go straight to Mars. That's how NASA does it, and that's how America does it. You know why? Because you're in America. So it's unbelievable to me, though. NASA put 12 astronauts on the moon between 1969 and 1972. With the death Friday of Apollo 16's John Young, only 5 of those astronauts are still alive, and they range in age from 82 to 87. No human being has been beyond low Earth orbit since the end of the Apollo program. Yeah, so it would probably be a good idea to launch somebody to the moon before Mars, correct? Can anybody feel what I'm throwing? Anybody catching it? You know? NASA's acting, damn it, 2 times today. I love you, babe, if you watch this video. I ain't mad at you. But hold on, y'all. Alright, sorry about that. Lady checking on me. It's raining and storming here in January. We got lightning, thunder, all of it, and hardcore rain. Alright, so I think I was at John Young. Only 5 of those astronauts are still alive, and they range in age from 82 to 87. No human being has been beyond low Earth orbit since the end of the Apollo program. Like I said, that's probably a good reason as to why we should send somebody to the moon before trying to hit Mars. But no, NASA doesn't need that test run. They're just that incredible. NASA's acting administrator, Robert Lightfoot, told the Washington Post that the agency will partner with other countries in the return to the moon, but he did not say which ones. He said the moon plan will be a public-private partnership, but did not name any companies that might be involved. Details will emerge with the president's annual budget request to Congress, he said. He provided no specifics about the architecture of a moon program. We have no idea yet, Lightfoot said. Lightfoot. What kind of an effing name is Lightfoot anyways? It's just unbelievable to me. NASA probably has not gone back to the moon, like I said, because we have cameras. Just a digital camera, a Nikon P900. And that's what changed the whole truth-seeking community. Because the moment truth seekers got their hands on that camera, they realized that they could zoom in on boats that had supposedly gone over the curve of the horizon. They realized that they could zoom in so good and so far that we could probably see the lunar landing site, but we don't. You know what I mean? And if we sent another lunar module there, we could probably watch it land directly on the moon. But this ain't gonna happen. Something will happen, or some other sort of crazy shit will go down and it will change it all. So I guess we'll just have to see what comes of it. But enough of me ranting on this NASA shit. We all know NASA lies. We all know NASA's full of shit. So NASA, eat it. But alright, y'all. I thought these were two comical type articles. And like I said, links will be in the description for both. So if you want to come through and read them, you know, get the gist of it, whatever, skim through, I don't care. Feel more than welcome. The links will be there for you. Yeah, Phil James, y'all. And I might have another video out tonight. It's 11 right now. We'll see. See how I'm feeling. I'm supposed to work in the morning, but it's pouring down rain, so we'll see what happens. All right, y'all. Phil James, I hope you enjoyed it. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit the bell, share. All of the above would be cool if you hadn't. Thank you guys to all my subs. Thank you guys. And yeah, y'all will see me again in this next video. Peace, guys.